Welcome back to yet another video. Happy June, everybody. When you will be getting this, it will be June. Um, so I so I figured I would just hop into it here, and today I'm going to be ranking WWE video games, and I'm going to specifically uh, relay this to my WWE group chat and all of my WWE fans. And I really can't rank AEW games because there aren't any yet. So let's just go into presentation mode. I think Fight Forever comes out at the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. I think. At least that's what they're saying. They're saying that it possibly will. So as you can see, we have S, A, B, C, D. So it's out of order. So I'm just gonna rank it based on how I see it here. Now, first of all, I just want to say that most of the SmackDown versus Raw games are fire. Um, so I think there's only one, at least to me, that goes into S tier, and it's this one, the one with Shawn Michaels and Triple H on the cover. So let's just get all of the SVR games out of the way. I love them all. They're all fun, especially the ones that have ECW. They're all fucking awesome. They're really, really fun. And I really got a kick out of them as a kid. I thought that they were really fun. I want to go more in depth when it comes to like the 2K games and such. So let me just do the SmackDown games. Here Comes the Pain is an iconic game. I think every wrestling fan that's like around like my age and a little bit older, it was either SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, which is just like, one of like the OG SmackDown versus Raws, or you were playing Here Comes the Pain or Shut Your Mouth. It was one of those two games, but Here Comes the Pain is fucking iconic. I don't care what anybody says. The shit's going into straight S tier. Like, it's literally an iconic ass video game. I don't care what anybody says. And I think that Shut Your Mouth is solid A tier. I honestly do. Um SmackDown 2, never really played it all that much. I didn't play these three all that much, really. I honestly didn't. All right. This is where we get to the fun stuff here. WWE 12 low key hits. It's a fucking S tier. I mean, the whole WCW road to like WrestleMania shits. Like even though in like the SVR games, the road to WrestleMania was always fun, this one was wild because there's just like the champion of champions championship where it's just like every championship thrown into one, and at the end of it WCW takes over WWE. The shit's wild, bro. Like, it's literally insane. And there's just some like wild shit. And for a PS3 game, it was fun as fuck. And I really believe that every WWE game should really try to be modeled after that. And I personally think that Universe Mode was actually really awesome because like a lot of the wrestlers that you can unlock in the game show up in Universe Mode, and it's really, really cool. It's fucking awesome. And so I think that I think that this game overall is just really, really, really cool. So WWE 13, I low-key have an insane opinion. It's A tier. I don't think it's S tier. Everyone says that it's better than WWE 12. I don't think so. I think I think that it's slightly worse. I think that It's just that it kind of, besides like the story mode, it feels sort of the same as WWE 12. Like, like I don't know, man. I just feel like it's very samey. Like they didn't really update a lot of like the moves and all of that stuff. And I don't know, man. Now WWE 2K14 is fucking S tier. Oh, by the way, I'm putting WWE 12 above Here Comes the Pain. Fight me, I don't give a shit. But WWE 2K14, I just want to say right off of the bat that universe mode in this game, which I want to preface, universe mode is my favorite mode in any of the WWE games. Like, I enjoy the career mode a little bit, but if I had to choose, it probably goes universe mode, showcase mode, and then career mode. But the cool gimmick about this game is that like the showcase mode was that you would like play a match at every WrestleMania, 30 years of WrestleMania, and oh my god, bro, the beat the streak shit was insane. It was wild. So I tried it for years. Even after I got all of these other games, I still have my PS3, and I still will sometimes try to beat it over again because like I finally beat it. I finally beat it as fucking like John Cena. And like, I tried with like The Rock, I tried with Triple H, I tried with Shawn Michaels, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And like it was the beat the streak challenge was so fucking cool, man. It just was. It was really, really cool. And they should bring something like that back. And 2K24 beat the Tribal Chief or something. Like, make it something for like, the modern WWE, because a lot's changed in the last 10 years. So I think everyone will agree here that 2K15 is a C. On the base, this is well, okay. So I think I don't remember this as fondly because I had this game on PS3. But everyone else got it on PS4. I always, before I started working, and I'm making a shit ton of money now, but before I started working, I was always behind everyone else. And I would always get the newer consoles when the like say that everybody was getting like a PS5, or say that like the PS5 was like getting ready to come out. That was when I would get the PS4. That was literally what happened. And so like most of 2K15, 16, and 17, I played on my PS3. And it was drastically different. But actually I played 2K17 on both, but I will get to that later. So 2K15 in terms of the gameplay is fun. The showcase with Cena and then with CM Punk is cool. This is the last game to have CM Punk in it, that is not a community created wrestler. So I think that's cool. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it just doesn't hit. Like, the soundtrack's cool, but like I feel like it's just not as good as like 2K14 or even any of the SmackDown games. Definitely not as good as any of the SmackDown versus Raw games, which I don't know about you, but like 2K15, despite the fact that it was like like the biggest thing that it had going for it was that it was on a new console. That was it. And I give the devs a lot of credit. It looked beautiful. It actually really did. It looked beautiful. But like the thing was that like, yeah, it looked beautiful, but like that was it really. That was all that it had, was that, yeah, it looks pretty. So I think the Stone Cold 2K16 is a B. I think that universe mode is whack in both of these games, but you can't really not have fun in universe mode. Wait a second. Nah, you really can't not have fun in universe mode, but the cool thing about 2K16 was that I think this was the game where you could start making your own custom pay-per-views, and you can make your own custom championships, and you could put that into universe mode. And so that's something that I always have fun doing. But the Stone Cold showcase, wow, I found it to be fun. The shit was hard to beat as a 15-year-old kid. And also, to be honest, I didn't connect with Stone Cold really all that much. And like, I mean, he's cool, but like, I just never really vibed with him. He was past my time, because I didn't become a wrestling fan until like I was like 7 or 8, and he was long retired by that point. I grew up with like Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, Finlay, JBL, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bobby Lashley, like, the Edge when he was like insane. So I didn't vibe with Stone Cold, so I didn't play the showcase much. But then I believe that they cut the showcase out for a couple years, because there wasn't a showcase in 2K17, which I also put into B tier. This is when the game got like, I put it in B. Actually, you know what? It can be in low A, because I think that 2K17 overall is fun. But I don't think it's as fun as the SmackDown versus Raw games or any of these games. But I think that the customizations, the universe mode, is fun. I think that the career mode, or the lack of a career mode, really holds this game back. But I will say, I remember 2K17 being an absolute blast to play. But it was the last of the PS3 era WWE games, I'm pretty sure. Now on to 2K18, which I have to put in A tier, because, well, my man Seth Rollins is on it, so putting it higher than most of the SmackDown versus Raw games. But I actually really love this game. This game is fun as hell. I like the career mode. This one has one of the best career modes. And I think that this one is probably one of like the least glitchy ones. But I find it funny that this is the only WWE 2K game to come out on the Nintendo Switch. That's like really funny. And it was like broken the moment it came out. And I was going through a really hard time in my life when I got this game. But I just remember opening it up on Christmas Day and just like not coming out of my room for like hours, because I was just having a fucking blast. Because I literally, as soon as I got it, I reunited the Shield, and I didn't have internet, so I had to like I had to make all of like my own guys, and so like that was like the fun thing about like WWE games before I got the community creations when I got Wi-Fi, because I'm a connected man. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you people. But the thing about it is that um I didn't have community creation, so I would make a lot of guys. So like I did some crazy ass matches, but they were fun, and I always have popping off WrestleManias. Also, I think that the gameplay was really, really refined in this game. So low key 2K19 is S tier. I don't give a shit. Universe mode is fun in this one. Career is probably at its best that it's been since this time. The showcase mode is fun. It goes through the career of one Bryan Danielson, or as he was known in WWE, Daniel Bryan. So yeah, I mean, there's not really that much to say. I just think it's really, really fun, and it's definitely worth the rank of S tier. But no, I'm sorry, it's not higher than SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. It's just not. I'm sorry to say. Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna add a row. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get this over with. 2K20 is an action adventure horror game that came out in 2019, and it features on the cover Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch, and that's not really a good idea in modern WWE games to have two cover stars. It worked for SmackDown versus Raw, but those were also good games, and it worked for the SmackDown games. But it does not work for modern 2K games. This game was cursed from the second that it came out, and they dropped the trailer and showed absolutely zero gameplay of it, and everyone was convinced that it was going to be better than 2K19, which was very hard to top. And the second that it came out, it was fucking broken. It didn't work for the first like 5 hours, and I was one of those dumbasses that fucking pre-ordered this game. I pre-ordered WWE 2K20. I was an idiot. I pre-ordered 2K20. And I like to think that this brought about the fall of like the world. That this game caused like the downfall of like literally everything, because this game glitched. It had an awful universe mode, and the career mode was ass. And you could clearly tell that whatever the fuck visual concepts that they were not trying when it came to this game. They didn't want to make a whole new formula, so they literally they put a new patch over 2K19, but just let the patch but then just let the patch wear off, and released it a year later, slapped like the $60 mark on it, and this shit was the first WWE game to come out with PS5, and it didn't work on PS5 either. And you want to know something? Yes, I pre-ordered this game. I was a fucking moron. The career mode, I think I've said this, is horrendous. Universe mode is horrendous. But you want to know something? For all of its flaws, the game is actually a blast to play. I'll say that. Like, it's fun to play, if you just want mindless, like, escapism for like, an hour or two, like it's fun to play in like, small contained bursts. Like it's fun in that sense. But I think that um overall the game is fucking awful, and I gave it its own tier because it deserves it. I wasn't gonna put it in D tier and ruin what was in D tier because first of all, none of these games are that bad that they would be in D tier, but WWE 2K20 is, and there are defenders of this game, believe it or not, and I don't know why, but there are. And I would love to talk to those people, and you guys can comment about how this is the greatest WWE game of all time when you literally have these up here. And hell, you want to know something? Despite how boring this fucking game is, at least it looks pretty, like I've said, and at least it's like crisp and like, at least it's functional. Same with this. Same with this. Same with this. Same with this. Same with all of these games. At least they're all functional. This game came out broken because they literally copied this but made it worse. They didn't change anything. They literally didn't add anything into it. And even after they like put the patch into this shit, it didn't work. It just didn't work. The game would crash every time you would load into universe mode. It would literally crash every single time. And then if it didn't crash and you were able to set up a show, and then you would start your show, right? Well, you want to know something? It would just literally, I'm not even kidding you. What it would literally do is that when you would go into a match, it would crash the second the entrance hit. I'm not kidding. It would crash instantly. And if for some miracle, it made it through the entrance, it would crash as soon as the match started. And if for some godforsaken reason it didn't crash when the match started, you know when it would crash? When you were going to get the pinfall. It deserves its own tier. 2K22 is pretty good. This is like comparing this to this is the Citizen Kane of WWE games. They rewrote the wheel with this one. They literally changed everything. They took 2 years off and they changed everything. And for what it's worth, it's pretty good. I think that the career mode is solid. I really enjoyed the Rey Mysterio showcase mode. Oh, I didn't even mention the showcase mode in 2K20 is garbage. It's literally the 4 horsewomen, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. Okay, back to the Citizen Kane of WWE games. 2K22 I think it's going for the more arcadey feel, whereas like the rest of the 2K games, fuck you. They try to go for like a realistic feel. This one just played into the this one played into the arcade feel. And like I said, they totally like reinvented the wheel, and it took a while for me to get used to because I was used to how like the rest of these games played, especially like 2K18 and 2K18 and 2K19. It took me a while to get used to this one, but I'll say after playing it, I got used to it about like a month and a half into it, and I really thought it was fun. I think it's fluid. I think that it flows better, and I think that for like the modern WWE games, it's a fucking blast. And also, the one complaint that I have is that when I would make a pay-per-view on Universe Mode, 4 times out of 10, that same pay-per-view, like say that I made a pay-per-view in May. That same pay-per-view would pop up in October. And I hated that shit. Thankfully, WWE 2K23 fixed that shit. I'm going to make a lot of people mad here, but I'm going to do it. I think this is the second greatest WWE 2K, or this is the second greatest WWE game of all time. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Fight me on this shit. I will scrap with anybody here. Universe mode, phenomenal. The showcase mode is fun. Career mode is pretty fucking solid. By the way, I'm playing that on Twitch. Go inside of my Twitch. The gameplay is phenomenal. This game is addicting. The only thing that I really, really do not like about this game is that you can't do double title matches in universe mode. You can't. So they have double title entrances, but you can't do double title matches in universe mode, which I personally think is whack. Especially because it's become a lot more common now in modern day WWE. But this is a reskin of this, but this is significantly better than this. This is like if this is like the Citizen Kane, this is like the fucking Dark Knight of WWE games. Like, this is still not better than this, but this is pretty damn good. And I think that the only thing that could have made it better is that if they didn't do that trash ass pin system, because now I have to smash the X button, and I have a damaged thumb, so it's hard for me to kick out of everything. But that's fine. I will, when I'm famous, I will sue the 2K devs, and I will get my money back so that I can get a new thumb. Because I'm not doing that garbage R pin system. It sucks. But besides that, I like that they keep doing patches to try to improve the game more, something that they didn't really do with any of the rest of these. Fuck you. But I just think that the only other besides the pin system and not having double title matches in universe mode, this game is fucking fun. And I really can't complain about any of this. I just can't. I can't. I don't know what more you want me to say. I think it's that damn good. And I think it brought my love for wrestling back a little bit. And honestly, even though it's not looking as good, I'm excited for Fight Forever coming out from AEW. I think it could be a solid game. I'm surprised they didn't have. Am I tripping, or do they not have Battlegrounds in here? Well, if they had Battlegrounds, I would have put it right here. It's still better than whatever this was. But yeah, that's all that I got for you guys here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all of the notifications. We're on the road to 150 subs. Hopefully this video will get me there. I love you guys. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.